Hey guys, how are you? Hopefully you had a most wonderful Christmas. I am so excited to talk to you today about this full moon coming up in Cancer. It's our last full moon of 2020. And if you don't know, a full moon is the culmination of emotions. Full moons are very intuitive, feminine energy. They illuminate things that we're holding in our subconscious for a release. So they're shining the light on what we need to release. This one happens to be in Cancer. And I really recommend, if you want to know how this moon's going to most affect you, then see where Cancer falls in your chart. You can do that for free online. I believe it's astrocafe.com. But for example, mine falls in my house of, I think it's my fourth house, of career and finances, which I find interesting because I used to teach special education and now I do healing work and work with healing crystals. And so Cancer's all about intuition. It's all about family. It's all about healing. It's a water sign. It's very nurturing. My mom happens to be a Cancer, so once I learned that about myself, I was like, oh, it makes sense that's why I have this internal drive to do healing work. So with this full moon in Cancer, once I realized that it was in my house, personal house, I was looking that I had bought I literally bought over 100 strands of jewelry, and I had my mom Reiki them and I cleansed them, and then I did my work to figure out that the full moon was in Cancer. And I was like, of course that's why I'm doing all this nurturing work around my career. So if you want to know how this full moon is going to really be affecting you, then see where Cancer falls in your chart. See where it is in your chart that you might be adding in some extra nurturing and where you need to do some clearing as well. Okay, so my crystal recommendations are rose quartz. This is a beautiful raw piece. With working with rose quartz, besides, wearing rose quartz like in a bracelet, I love, of course, to wear my jewelry, my stones. But rose quartz is obviously a quartz-based stone, meaning it can go in water. I personally love to put rose quartz in my bath with me to infuse the water with the energy of the rose quartz and then take that in through, my pores. And setting them out for a full moon charge and bath as well. So on this full moon in Cancer, 3 days before, 3 days after, when it's the most strong, the most powerful, the most potent, I suggest setting them out under this full moon with some intention to help them charge and to cleanse. It charges because it's reflecting really just the sun, but the sun can be more damaging to the crystals and eventually fade them out. So the full moon is really where we want to charge them. Plus the energy of the full moon is just so beautiful. So rose quartz. Cancer is all about heart. Where in your heart, what emotions are coming up for you? What emotions you need to release? And meditate, sleep with, take a bath with, whatever you want to do to work with your rose quartz. But that's my suggestion for as emotions start to come up, so that you can really be gentle with yourself. This is a stone of self-nurturing, love, and healing. Also, and then here's a polished version, just so you can see the difference. Because you may prefer to work with the polished version. They're fun, as palm stones and to hold while you're meditating. So just because I like the raw, you might prefer the polished. Lapis Lazuli is my next recommendation. Here's a tumbled stone. I like to use the small tumbled stones because lapis lazuli coordinates with our third eye, the center for our intuition, which Cancer energy is highly intuitive energy, really connecting with our inner wisdom. So placing the lapis lazuli when you're laying down after yoga and shavasana, or just when you're in deep relaxation, is a really good tool to use. And of course, I have to show you a new one I just made in jewelry as well. Beautiful. And then lastly is the peach moonstone. So the peach moonstone, for several reasons. For one, it is the birthstone for Cancer. For 2, it's also a highly intuitive stone, but is more connected to our sacral chakra, the chakra for creation. And it's the stone of new beginnings. So leaving 2020, going into 2021, whatever it may hold for us, because just remember, when things are tumultuous, it's for a reason, right? So just because we may have had a bad year doesn't mean that it was unjust. Something, I'm for sure, came from it. So peach moonstone, the stone for new beginnings. So we're releasing whatever's stuck, whatever comes up for you, write it down, burn it, and then really focus in on what it is then you're creating. What are you making space for after you release it? Peach moonstone. Here's a little piece of it. Great stone that you could lay on your sacral chakra if you'd like, below your belly button. Of course, wear it. And then I combined a peach moonstone and a rose quartz together with a moon charm. Just creating from the heart. I feel like the creation of peach moonstone and rose quartz is all about creating from your heart. So I hope that you find these suggestions helpful. If this is your first time watching me, then thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you next time.